Hi everyone, we're going to look at Letterpop, an online service for creating newsletters. The page you see on my screen is the My Account page for Letterpop. I've signed up for their free account, which allows you to create, publish, and share your own newsletter. But there are other accounts that you have to pay for that allow you greater opportunities to publish and share, whereas the free account is a little bit limited. So the first thing I want to show you is how to upload your own images. Now on the main screen that you see to the right, you'll see a link that says Manage Newsletters. If I had any that I saved already, they would appear there. And below that, you'll see Manage Images. The images that you see there are images that I've already uploaded. I just want to show you your options for uploading images. You can upload images from your computer. If you click on this ghosted area, you can upload pictures via URL, or to the right you can upload via Facebook, or if you have a Flickr account you can upload from that. You'll see here it says you have uploaded 5 of 25 images. That's because I have the free account. If I had a pay account, I would be allowed to upload more. So once you have the images you want to upload, you can go ahead and start creating your newsletter. You can click on the big word create, or over to the right, create a newsletter. Either one will allow you to go to the same page. And here what you see is the area where you create your newsletter. The first thing you want to do is go to the title and write in the name of what you want to save it as, and then click on the save hyperlink. Letterpop will automatically save for you from time to time, but it's usually best to go ahead and save for yourself anytime you do anything important. I've titled mine Rocket Docket. The Rocket Docket is the name for Baylor Law School's online newsletter, and I am just creating a mock-up of that for demonstration purposes today. So if you go to the right in the screen box, you'll see my pictures, and those are all the images that I've uploaded already. And then you'll also see all templates. There are 295 templates in all, and you can scroll through them 4 at a time, or you can use this drop down menu to choose. I'm going to choose from the basic category. There are other categories in here based on the type of newsletter. Like you'll see above basic it says announcement. There are holidays listed. There are hobbies listed like fishing. There are adjectives like grungy and fun and generic. So I'm just going to go to basic, and I want to choose any of these here. You'll see a lot of them look the same and they're just different because of color. I want to choose this red one here, and it has just your basic format. The letterhead at the top, right column information, and then large text on to the left. And the way that I begin to edit that template is to click on the image and drag it into the main screen. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that there are these areas such as the small box that say drag and drop your photo here. That's where you can include your own images. But for example, if in this area where the text appears, if there was already an image up there in the template, you're not going to be able to change it. You're stuck with whatever image that they had there. So for the basic one that I've chosen, all there is words. So I want to show you how to change those words. And what I've done here is I've clicked on that area, and when I've done that, it turned to the gray box, and I can just highlight the text that's already there and delete it and type in my own text. Now when you type in your text, highlight the text that you want changed, and you can choose from these icons up here how you want the information to look. So I can choose different font sizes and fonts. It only goes up to 36 point font. And then I also can choose this icon for changing the color. I could change it to whatever color I wanted from the list, or if I knew the number letter combination for a certain color, I could type that in. It's hard to see because it's being shown over text that's already on the page, but there are icons here for changing the color, highlighting, pasting from Word, undoing and redoing, creating hyperlinks, and disabling hyperlinks. And then above that, you can bold, italic, underline your text, and then choose how you want it to appear. I'm going to center this text. The important thing to remember is to click this green check mark when you're done, and that just confirms the information that you've changed. You will not be able to move on to another box until you've clicked that green check mark, so it'll be very easy to remember. So the next thing I'm going to do is add my image, and I do that the same way I choose a template. I'm just going to click the image that I want and drag and drop it, and I'm able to move it up or down or left or right, or this is an undo arrow, and I just did the same thing here. I click the green check mark to confirm that that's the image I want. Now, I'm not going to show you in every box how to edit text because it's all the same, but just one more thing I want to show you, and I'm going to use this box to demonstrate, is if I was putting in my contact information here, but I didn't want it all to be the same size, all I would do is add in my information and then select the information that I want to be a different size and leave the other information alone, and just edit it in like small groups at a time. So the first thing that I would do here is I could select all of it. I know that I want it all to be Times New Roman or whatever font you choose, but say I want the name of the law school to be bigger, I would just select that font and then try to change the size to the size that's appropriate. And then if I would just want to change these lines, I could just select those and change it. And then if I wanted this to be the same or different, I would just choose it, whatever I wanted it to be. And all the editing functions are the same here. One last thing I want to show you about editing text is how to insert a hyperlink. Now, I could select the law school name and hyperlink that, and that's the way it would appear. You would see the underlining like a regular hyperlink does online. But if you're planning for your readers to be able to print out the newsletter, it's best to actually include the text of the URL. The way that I hyperlink that is choose that hyperlink icon. It looks like a chain, and then I just write in the name. I just write in the URL that I want the text to hyperlink to, and then I choose if I want it in the same window or in a new window, and then you can write a title here. However, it's not going to change the text that appears in the newsletter. So once I've done that, my text is hyperlinked. The next thing that I want to show you is how to add an article with an image. As you see here on the left side, there's room for text, but there's no room for an image. So if I tried to add that image there, it would not allow me to do so. It would just sort of disappear. So the way that I do that is I go to the top and I click Add a Page. But I want you to see here, if I click Add a Page and nothing shows up, that means that I haven't confirmed something. So if you go back down to the bottom, you'll see the green check mark is still there. I never confirmed my edit. So you always want to remember to click that check mark, but if you don't, it's not going to allow you to go on, so you'll know. So now I have all that confirmed, and I can go back to add a page, and here's my pop-up menu. There are layouts with images, without images, with small, with large. I also have the option to copy the page that I'm working on. You just need to keep in mind your text that you want to include and how large your image is. If I chose one of these layouts with a large image, it wouldn't work properly because my image is not that big, and so it would stretch it out so that it just looks fuzzy. So I want to choose one of these that has smaller images, and I just do it the same way. I drag and drop, and it'll appear in that area. Now I'm able to add a caption under my photo by clicking underneath it, and I can just type in the information that I wanted to say, and then you just do the same editing process of choosing your fonts and the font size. Just remember, you have to highlight the text that you want changed so that it will change. And then I'm going to click confirm. And then I want to go over to the main screen and add in text. I have text that I have copied from a Baylor newsletter about this statue being built in the law school, and I'm just going to paste it here. And I just click in the box, hit Control V or however you choose to paste, and you'll see that it appears exactly as it does in the online article. I can go back through and I can change the font again. I could change the size. I just want you to see, if you make it too big, you'll end up with these the up and down scroll bar. If you're viewing online, that may not bother you, but if you want anyone to print out, you just want to make your text small enough that it fits in the area given to you. Next, I want to show you how you can preview your newsletter. You just click on the preview link at the top of the page, and it will go to a screen that shows what it will look like to people that you share with. You'll see that they have Facebook like buttons on them and ability to share it via Twitter. And you can go page by page in the preview. And once you see that it is or isn't what you want it to be, just scroll down to the bottom, and in orange you'll see continue editing. Click continue editing and it'll take you back to your newsletter. Now, if you want to email your newsletter to a person, just click on the email tab at the top, and then it'll bring you to this screen. This is the screen that you see if you've already added at least one contact or have created a mailing list, and you'll see a drop down menu. You can send to all of my contacts, or you can send to just a certain mailing list. And once you do that, you just go to the side and either click send newsletter to the mailing list or just send the preview to yourself. And here you can add in comments about what your newsletter is. So if I click send a preview to myself, it sends an email to me. When I check that email, I see that the information in the email is all text. There's no embedded HTML making your emails large and maybe undeliverable. So the way it appears here is just as it would appear to any person that you send it to. You get a URL and you click on that, and then it will bring you to your online newsletter. The URL that it sends you to is going to be the same URL that you'll get if you publish your newsletter. So if I go back to Letterpop, and I'm just going to go up to the top to my account and find my newsletter, the Rocket Docket, and click on the publish hyperlink. And here I've already published my newsletter. And so what will happen is, if I hadn't published it yet, it would appear in this list, and I would just click this icon, except the arrow would be pointing upwards, and that's how you publish online. But what I want you to see is that once you publish it, it will just take you to the same exact page, and you're able to scroll through it and like it or whatever you want to do. So that's how Letterpop works. There are some advantages to being able to share online and send to a lot of people at once. However, as you can see based on what I showed you today, editing options are pretty limited, and where you put images are pretty limited. So there are just some things that I think that programs like Publisher have, they just have more to offer as far as creativity is concerned. But if you're interested in sending quick newsletters to a large amount of people, then Letterpop is a service that you might want to consider using.